place. So if you're ready, I think I am too. Okay, so for those of you joining me on MAGABook tonight, welcome to the show. It is a hastily prepared show because I was debating how to put this together for you. On the day after the election, November the 4th, I was banned from Facebook for at least 30 days. They didn't ban me completely. It wasn't because of a post of any sort. They said it was some sort of a post that I did in September. And consequently, I have not been able to post on any of my Facebook pages. And I reach about 100,000 people a week on my Rob Carson show page. So this is very disappointing. I'm not Dan Bongino, although I know Dan Bongino, but the show is growing dramatically. Facebook has never allowed me the opportunity to monetize my page, and it's been very disappointing that Facebook has also now officially kind of banned me for now. So this show is a little bit different than a lot of them. I have a show on Facebook. Let me kill off. I got to kill off my MAGABook. Hold on. I got these notifications for when people sign in and stuff, and I got to kill that off. Let me see how I can do that real quick here because it makes a little noise. I got to turn off the notification sound because it gets a little nuts. Anyway, how are you? I am sure if you were like me, you are really effing pissed off. I am not going quietly into the night. I am not going to say, Joe Biden, despite the fact that it was not a blue wave, it was a red wave, actually, and despite the Donald Trump had all the momentum and a tremendous economy and black unemployment at an all-time low and Hispanic unemployment at an all-time low and government regulation dropping and a 33% GDP last quarter. And despite all the slings and arrows and all of the name calling and all the fact that you and I have been called racist and white supremacist and awful and all of this for the last 4 years, I'm not going quietly. Okay? So I'll just say this. I'm not going quietly. I will not accept Joe Biden as my president. I'll just say it. Because the only way he got to be president was to steal the mother effing election. And if you don't believe me, look at cities like New York and Chicago and other places where he lost votes, and look at strategic cities that could have won him the electoral votes that he needed. And they're all Democrat hotspots, and this was all planned. Everything was planned. This all went according to plan. A few weeks ago, Donald Trump was being asked questions like, will you leave office? Will you leave office without a fight, blah, blah, blah. Where is this all coming from? Why are people asking Donald Trump if he's going to leave office? And I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized, they're planning on his defeat even if he doesn't lose the popular vote. That's what they're planning on doing. They are planning on, and McAdoo says I look great. Thank you. Obviously you've been drinking. Anyway, this was planned. If you were like me, you were watching on election night, you were watching with bated breath, you had seen all the positive news with the economy. The president had been suffering all these slings and arrows with regard to everything that could possibly be thrown at him, including Russian collusion and and an impeachment. You have been called racist and white supremacist, even when you're not white. And every kind of hateful thing. You have watched cities burn. You've watched flags burn. You've watched monuments being torn down. You've watched privileged athletes tell you that you are racist. And you sat and you waited until election day. And you knew there would be people mailing in votes the Democrat Party was encouraging mail-in voting because, COVID's going to kill you. They knew what was possible. And if you look at Great Britain and their mail-in voting, they knew what was possible. And so you waited. And you said, I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm not going to raise hell. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to watch my country descend into chaos with Antifa and Black Lives Matter. But by God, I'm going to get my due on Election Day. And you went on Election Day, and the sons of bitches stole your vote. And the sons of bitches stole your vote. On election night, I guess it was about 11:30 Eastern, we're all thinking, hey, man, things are really starting to turn because Donald Trump, the people who voted the day of had finally come in, and the early voting was going to favor Joe Biden. And we saw the odds makers go, wow, Donald Trump is going to win this thing. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the whole thing, counting stopped. Why? Why did counting stop when it was in the favor of Donald Trump? Why did it stop? Stopped. There was a water main burst in one city, I guess, is what they heard. But what it did was allow you to go to sleep hoping that Donald Trump was going to win and Democrats to gird their forces and deluge the system with fraudulent votes. It was their trigger. It was their modus operandi, their plan. It makes no sense. I mean, if you look at the downtick and you look at the momentum in this country with regard to where the country is going, and as far as a blue wave versus a red wave, it was not going in Joe Biden's favor. Joe Biden was attracting 10 people at his campaign rallies. Nobody give a shite about Joe effing Biden. We had Trump parades and Trump flotillas and massive Trump rallies. That wasn't a lie. That was real. That was real. And that is worth fighting for. I'm not going quietly into the night. I'm not going to, and even if Joe Biden says he's the president tonight, I do not recognize him as my president. Now, unlike what happened in 2016 with Democrats, I have reason to say otherwise because the American people say otherwise. Because 20% of Americans are radical leftists, and that's it. 80% of Americans are patriotic Americans who believe in the founding. We've seen this time and time again, and we will not accept this. What is this going to mean? I don't know. But I'm not playing along. I am not playing along. No siree. Here's the president last night, and I'll share how the networks interrupted him because it is classic North Korea.
We have a very important 2020 election. If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking at them very strongly, but a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio. To name just a few, we won these and many other victories despite historic election interference from big media, big money, and big tech. As everybody saw, we won by historic numbers. And the pollsters got it knowingly wrong. They got it knowingly wrong. We had polls that were so ridiculous, and everybody knew it at the time. There was no blue wave that they predicted. They thought there was going to be a big blue wave. That was false. That was done for suppression reasons. But instead, there was a big red wave, and it's been properly acknowledged.
And we all predicted that, and it was extinguished late Tuesday night. It was extinguished. It was on his way. He was on his way to victory. And the voting stopped intentionally.
Actually, by the media, they were I think very impressed, but that was after the fact. That doesn't do us any good. We kept the Senate despite having twice as many seats to defend as Democrats, and in a really much more competitive states, we did a fantastic job with the Senate. I think we're very proud of what's happened there. We had many more seats to defend.
Now, here is Jay Tapper cutting away from the President of the United States, deciding that 70 million people have no idea what they're talking about. I want you to watch how condescending this a-hole is.
What a sad night for the United States of America to hear their president say that, to falsely accuse people of trying to steal the election, to try to attack democracy that way with this feast of falsehoods. Lie after
This guy, I mean, honestly, the sad thing about him and his ilk is that they have a choice to tell the truth, and they choose to toe the party line.
after lie about the election being stolen. No evidence for what he's saying, just smears about the integrity of vote counting in state after state. When he wins a state, it's legitimate. When he loses, it's because the vote is being stolen from him. It's not true. It's ugly. It's frankly pathetic.
No, you are actually. You are pathetic. Because for years we've had to endure your bullshit. We've had to endure your lies and your bullshit. I do believe you were in bed with the other media who said that Donald Trump had collaborated with Russians to throw the last election. I believe you were behind that. I also think you are very much behind the impeachment of the president without any evidence. Jake. And now you're going to shame us? You audacious bastard. Here is Brian Williams.
Good evening. I'd like to provide the American people with an update on efforts to
Now he's going to cut in before the president can say anything. He's going to judge what you should hear
protect the
from the president.
Integrity of our very important 2020 election. If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
Here he goes.
If you count the illegal votes,
This shouldn't take long.
they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking at them very strongly, but a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio.
Okay, here we are again in the unusual position of not only interrupting the President of the United States, but correcting the President of the United States. And Ari Melber, don't go far, given that you are our chief legal correspondent. There are no illegal votes that we know of. There has been no Trump victory that we know of.
I want you to watch the Truman Show. If you get the opportunity to watch the Truman Show, because that's kind of what we're living in. It is we are Truman. We are being told that everything we know about us, that we are thinking things are wrong, things are going wrong. Maybe what just happened? A light just dropped in the middle of the street. No, there's nothing to see here. These are like media nannies jumping in to prevent you from seeing a TV commercial you shouldn't see. They're stepping in as nannies to tell you what you should or should not see, or what you should or should not believe. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. But it got insulting. Here's Manderson. Well, as my friend Chris Plant likes to say, Manderson Pooper. Anderson Cooper of CNN.
That is the president of the United States. That is the most powerful person in the world. And we see him like an obese turtle on his back, flailing in the hot sun.
You are an ass. You would never say that about anyone else, particularly Barack Obama.
Realizing his
You are a giant ass.
time is over. But he just hasn't accepted it, and he wants to take everybody down with him, including this country.
I'm not going quietly. You and I have spent the last 4 years being called racist, white supremacist, Nazis, And all he cared about is making the country better. We've seen regulations cut. We've seen red tape cut. We've seen an exponential growth of the economy. We've seen black and Hispanic unemployment at all-time lows, poverty at an all-time low. The Democrat Party brought to bear a 47-year career bureaucrat who is the epitome of the swamp. Nobody cares about Joe Biden. 47 years in Washington, D.C., and he's never done anything at all. Is hate of Donald Trump by the left masses enough to defeat Donald Trump? No. Is hate combined with all of the broadcast media, with the exception of a few? Is hate combined with social media, which it was rumored to say they could turn 15 million votes, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I should say. Yeah. Wednesday morning, I was shut down. Hundreds and hundreds of my conservative compatriots have had their tweets, their posts, their videos shut down by social media. ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, MSNBC, they've all been tools for the Biden campaign. Fox News failed us with Chris Wallace as a debate moderator. And then on election night, they called Arizona within moments of the polls closing. Why did that happen? I know people there. I know Brad Bear. I'm not saying he's a friend of mine. Why did they do that? Why are your lawmakers? I called my Senator Jim Moran's office today and I said, why are you being effing quiet? Because I'm pissed. And I want you to say something in defense of this president. And I don't see any other Republican lawmakers, Marco Rubio and Paul Ryan and Ted Cruz. Where are you? Where are you? We need you now. If you don't get this, if you don't step forward, Joni Ernst, you just won your seat back. If you don't step forward and defend this president, you are going to be in a world of hurt with the masses of people who supported this president. You get behind this president, you defend this president, and you fight back, or there's going to be a 1,000-mile caravan of cars to Washington, D.C. before Inauguration Day. And when Joe Biden says that he will go into the White House forcefully and remove this president, he's going to have to move through a couple million of us. Are you going to let this lay? Are you going to let this election be taken from you? I'm not. There's too much good that can happen with the next term of the Donald Trump presidency, and I am not going to leave it in the dust. By God in heaven, I will not, for this senile, swamp-dwelling piece of shit with his socialist sidekick. I'm not going to do it. Here's what I want you to do. It's my first live broadcast on MAGA Book. Join me on Parler, Parler. Join me on, of course, MAGA Book. Join me on Rumble.com. Rumble.com is an alternative to YouTube. Dan Bongino is heading this up, and I'm working with him. Join me on Newsmax TV. My show is on Newsmax on the weekends. Hopefully it'll be more often. But I'm not going to give this up. I'm not going to be a subject of Joe Biden. I'm not going to do it. No, sir. No, ma'am. Whatever. No transgender. Whatever the hell. I'm just going to say that. I've got about 4,000 followers already on this channel, on MAGA Book, and it's growing dramatically. Join me. Because I ain't giving up. Okay? All right. Keep fighting the fight. Do not give up. Do not. In the words of, what was it? The Galaxy Quest. Never give up, never surrender. It's not that bad. Not bad. Keep fighting. I'm not giving up. You shouldn't either. God bless you. See ya. Bye. Bye.